Hello and welcome to Follow Everton. You've got your favourite OAPs hinging brackets on a pre-match chat. Do you know what? We're trying to be G'd up. We've just had a little chat between one another and we're both like in despair. We're both like, oh my God. But you wouldn't know. We're going to say, come on, the Blues and up the Blues. How's my partner, Wes?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I've got to be honest, I'm not looking forward to tonight, but, there's always the potential of a Brighton, isn't there?
Yeah, we use that word hope. We both use that word hope. There's hope and there's no hope.
Yeah, there's fucking Bob Hope.
We've got to laugh, mate, because you know what? I'm crying already. Those tears. The team's out. And yeah, if you don't know the team, by the way, we'll tell you. Pickford in goal, Ben Godfrey, Tarkowski, Brantwaite, Michaelenko at the back. I'm saying Garner Gay is going to be the protector. Onana, Young, McNeil, Decore in midfield. And Beto is playing. He's on the pitch. Wes, what's your thoughts on the team, my friend? We'll talk about the subs in a minute.
Do you know what? I honestly don't know why he was dropped for the last game, Rob. You know what I mean? Like, for me, even though he's the best of a bad bunch at the moment, at least he puts himself about a bit. You know what I mean? He gets in the areas, and I was reading something today. I don't know whether you read it. Michael Ball's column in the Echo, and he was saying what we've been saying for absolutely donkey's years is just Calvert-Lewin is just too nice. Like, he should have been screaming. He said if that was Big Dunk back in the day, he'd have been screaming at the players for not appealing. He'd have been screaming at the ref. And Calvert-Lewin was just like shrugged his shoulders and was like, you know what I mean? And you're like, well, we've been saying it. You know what I mean? He is too nice.
Yeah. We literally for months and months and months, he's just a nice boy who you'd be made up if your daughter brought him home. That's the way I see him. As a striker, I want to see it as a striker. His bank account is like must be phenomenal, and he must be so frustrated because you know what? If he got sold tomorrow, he'd probably go and play for someone else and do the same as Mopey, or he score more. Sometimes we just can't get it, can we?
No. Well, we got the Newcastle team news there, mate. Or do you want me to go through it?
Yeah, go through it. I've not got that. Didn't come up on the site I'm on.
Right, so we got the Bravka in goal.
Yeah,
you've got Kraft right back, Fabian Schär, Dan Burns being moved into centre half, and you've got young Lewis Hall on the left. Midfield, got Gameres, Longstaff. Not quite sure about the other one. Up front, you've got Harvey Barnes, who scored 2 goals the other day. Alexander Isak and somebody else. If somebody else can put the other 2 players up there that I've missed out, that'd be appreciated. But obviously it's a depleted Newcastle team. But even the depleted Newcastle team is good enough to beat Everton, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I know that just before I go into the Newcastle team on that one as well, John, have a nice sleep, mate. Thanks for just tuning in case you're going to go. Lovely to see. The numbers are just going up and up and up, looking at engine bracket, the 2 old fellas. Lovely to see it all. And,
Sniff for 1973. So you got Elliot Anderson, that's right, and Jacob Murphy.
Thanks, Sniffer.
So yeah, that's their lineup. And do you know what though? Like, our bench isn't half bad today, mate. You know what I mean? We've got obviously DCL on the bench, Seamus, we've got Harrison, and we've got let me think on who we got. Gomez on the bench.
Yeah.
So it's not half bad. There's some legs to come on there.
Yeah. We need all the legs we can get at the moment because it's kind of, we're trying to be upbeat, but we have to discuss the fact that it's kind of woeful what's going on the pitch and off the pitch. We're going to Wednesday Night Blues tomorrow night as well, so we'll go into that in a little bit more depth tomorrow night. But as we mentioned before, we always live in hope. We just think we didn't expect that Brighton performance. And Wes, if we don't win tonight, that is the worst set of results since 1878, mate, when you and I were just little boys.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what? Managers have been sacked for losing less games, haven't he? Many managers gone.
That's another story, though, isn't it? With the finances and whatever. I won't say he's got a job for life, but there's no one there I see to make a decision. We kind of haven't got a board. It's kind of like Colin Chong makes the tea on a match day and decides with Kevin Telwell who we're signing, and then shoots across the Bramley Moor dock to see if the bricks have been laid and whatever. It's kind of it's all a little bit embarrassing, really, what's happening.
Yeah, I think he's taking the players' kits home as well to wash them. No, he used to do on the weekends.
It wouldn't surprise me, because it just doesn't happen anywhere else. Maybe Sunday league teams, mate. Sunday league teams and kids teams are ran better than Everton. Is that a fact?
Yeah.
It is a fact, isn't it?
Yeah. At the end of the day, right, you was one of them. Remember back in the day when you played for a team and you had to pay your subs and all that. And if you didn't
pay to play, didn't you?
Yeah, if you didn't pay. Yeah, if you didn't pay, you'd either got a little rollover and the manager give you a little easy ride for the week, but you'd have to pay the double the following week. And if you didn't pay, you didn't play.
How much did you pay? Can you remember?
Oh, I think it was 2D, Yeah. Half penny in 2D.
I'm trying to remember how much I used to pay to play, which is like, how ironic is that? You literally had to pay. It basically just took me back on a journey of decades and decades ago. When you remember I said last week when I used to play football and I was never picked, and it was like, you can have Robby. Well, when I used to get picked, that's when you used to have to hand your money over. But I'm starting to think, how much money did I used to hand over to pay? Getting back to these prima donnas.
Yeah, so Sniffer here just pointing out the amount of players they've got out, and that's a like a full team. That's a team who would do well on their own. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we don't really want to talk about Tonyali, you know what I mean? Because he's obviously banned through throwing touchy bets on.
Well, that's his own fault, isn't it? I mean, literally, he's clearly got a problem with gambling, isn't he? Because the fella's got that much money in his bank account. He doesn't need to do it, does he? Yeah, and if he wants to go and do that, go and play poker.
Yeah, he's already been done by the Italian FA or something, hasn't he? And now he's carried on betting in the Premier League from what I believe. I don't know. Maybe Sniffer can put me right on that. I don't know.
I mean, we're nice guys, aren't we? We like to see the positive side of a story, but that's just self-inflicted. Yeah. Not having it.
Well, Barry Godfrey, even Barry, he's. I don't think. While Dyche is manager, I don't think we'll see Patterson again. I really don't.
No. Sometimes, mate, if someone doesn't like you, your number's done in it. So he's going to get it. He's going to get his way, but he's going to be moved on in the summer.
This is the thing, though, Rob, is that he's not doing himself any favors when he's got out and out right back, two out and out right backs sitting on the bench, and he's playing a makeshift right back. You know what I mean? He's got Seamus there. Obviously, Seamus played 90 minutes the other day and obviously scored the own goal. But he's got Seamus, he's got Patterson, and he's playing a makeshift right back. And you think, you're not doing yourself any favours, mate, especially with the fans.
Do you rate Patterson?
You know what? I can see that as a player in there. Like, he wouldn't be a full international for Scotland if he didn't have something about him. Do you know what I mean? It's just that maybe he just doesn't trust him. You know what I mean? And obviously he's got Ashley Young there who's going to get back and help Ben Godfrey out as well, covering up. But then does that give you enough options going forward. If Ashley Young's having to track back all the time, obviously 38, 39 years of age, he's not going to last a full 90 minutes. But obviously that's when you've got Jack Harrison on the bench. But then neither of our, fullbacks or wingers have really been producing much lately, have they?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a positive comment on the back of what we're talking about, but it's hard, isn't it? It's so hard. You're trying to put it. We're trying to spin it, but we can't. And we're talking about our club.
I know.
So we need to take a moment, mate. We need to go.
No, yeah. So Sniffer's come back. So, yeah, he's been done by the Italian FA, and he's been continued betting in the Premier League. But the FA is likely not, that won't give him the extra ban. But I mean, with Sniffer obviously being a Newcastle fan, how does he feel about the fact that Tonyali's still doing it when he's out banned for Newcastle? He can't play for Newcastle, and he's still gambling. There's a potential there for him to still get a bigger ban, isn't he? You know what I mean? So, like, if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be mega pissed off with him. Do you know what I mean? If it was one of our players, I'd be mega pissed off with him.
Yeah, I sent a message this morning via, I still say Twitter, saying that we had a stream tonight at 6:30, and if any of the Newcastle fans wanted to come on and have a chat and tell us what their thoughts are about Everton's predicament and Newcastle predicament, the score, then obviously you're more than welcome. So
he's been on before, Sniffer, anyway.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Yeah, he said he's fuming there. But he hopes that he gets all the help he can get.
Fuming.
Yeah. Few tips.
Yeah. So if anyone knows Tonali, add him to your friends on Facebook, because he might just send you a few little hot tips for the international next week if he does the horses as well.
Yeah. So how do you see it going tonight, the Robster? Obviously, right. the threat from Isaac and Harvey Barnes is probably their biggest threat. But Jacob Murphy's, he always seems to play well when he plays against us.
Yeah, I mean, my heart and my head are divided, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel exactly the same. It's just, I just feel like the life's been sucked out of the team. They went away to gel over in Portugal, and for me, we spoke about this, Wes. I was thinking they should have been staying at Finch Farm and dealing it and sorting things out, as opposed to even going and staying in a hotel somewhere or going to Lake District or whatever. They go to Portugal, summer climate, and they come back. And I said to you, didn't I, if they get smashed against Bournemouth, it just make themselves look divvies. And I won't say they got smashed, but they didn't really, for me. But they didn't.
Bournemouth weren't great, though, were they? Bournemouth weren't great. That's the thing. And you know what? I don't know whether you've seen Dyche's post-match press conference, and he's coming out with, we only had one day to prepare for this game. And you're like, you've just had 3 weeks off. How have you only worked on your tactics for Bournemouth, like, for one day? Like, What have you been doing?
Yeah, see, that's where, they do all the press courses and they know what to say and whatever, but he has made himself look a little bit foolish there. We don't want to be, we're not only here just to slag everyone off, but I think that's a severe own goal as far as I'm concerned with his post-match.
Yeah, like you say, I think he threw himself under the bus there. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. Like, when you've had 3-week break to work on, he could work on tactics. Work on tactics for the next 10 games in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and he's coming out with that rubbish, and he had one day to prepare.
He's been asked as well about the obviously the point situation and the winless run, and he's come out with a cracker again, saying it's kind of like not the short
Doesn't
term.
mean anything.
It's the long term.
Yeah.
The long term. Now, how many games, mate? 9 games before we're like.
Thing is, it's like if we don't win tonight, then that's like a third of the season that he hasn't won for. A third of the season, that he hasn't won.
Yeah. In another climate, we all know what the consequences would be for that disastrous run. However, there's no point in even talking about sack the manager, whatever. There is nobody coming in because we are broke. It's like the finances are not there, so he's here till the end of the season, and then there'll be a decision over who's going to take us over, and then they'll go from there. So whether we like it or whether we don't, he's here to stay.
Yeah, Emma's got a point there. I mean, it would have cost him a few bob to send them to Portugal for 3 weeks or whatever it was. You know, however much that cost to send the whole team and the training, you know, the backroom staff and whoever else that went there, they could have paid for a year for a striking coach.
How much do you reckon that would have cost, mate? Put a price on it.
I reckon you're probably talking best part of $500,000. You know, with the accommodation, flights and whatnot.
Would you say as much as 500,000? Right, okay.
For all, like you say, you don't know how many going in the entourage, Rob. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it'd be 150,000 for the plane.
Was yeah, but they probably went with EasyJet.
So they've got their own plane. They hired a plane, 150k, there and back. I mean, that's the going rate. Because I used to go on the planes with the teams going back a while ago, and I used to go, how much? You're having a laugh, aren't you?
It just seems like it was a jolly up, doesn't it? 3-week jolly up.
Well, it does when you've come back from Bournemouth with like 0-0 again. Because in the 87th minute, you go, oh, do you know what? We've rescued something. There's a bit of hope. So, like, there's that word hope again. So you're buzzing, aren't you? And you're going, well, that's, you know, a point's better than none. Yeah. And then what happens?
But the thing is as well is that I think it was on the game the other day, someone saying down and said it's no coincidence that Calvert-Lewin's goals have dried up since Duncan left. You know what I mean? Obviously Duncan was the striker himself, but why don't he turn around and say give Rooney a few grand and say come and work for us for the next 9 games with the strikers?
Mate, on that subject, you know, if I was Wayne Rooney, I'd even donate my services. Because
possibly
he's got that money. I mean, seriously, he's got that much money in the bank, hasn't he? What's he doing on a daily basis? And he's still got a lot. He's still got it. He had the gift. He was one of the best. The striker wise, he was one of the best. So if that was me, I'd go,
striker.
Do you want me? Yeah. Do you want me? Listen, donate me services till the end of the season.
Yeah. He weren't even a striker though, Rob. That's the thing. Like, he wasn't an out-and-out striker.
That's what I do.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like it baffles me that we've got nobody in the backroom staff that's there to teach people how to hit the back of the net. Like, and don't get me wrong, somebody that's been around as long as Calvert-Lewin has, and Beto's was bagging goals for Udinese. They shouldn't need coaching, but they also need a bit of belief installed in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the likes of Duncan would have his arm wrapped around DCL, saying, "Lad, you can do this," wouldn't he?
Yeah. And it's frustrating because he had a shot the other day, didn't he? And the keeper made a good save when Tarkowski miscontrolled it, and he came from nowhere and had a shot. But instead of him shooting across the keeper, he's gone to the near post, and the keeper saved it. A decent striker's going across the goalie there. You know what I mean? But I suppose when you're on form, that's what you aim for, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we're on that subject, friends. Our numbers are going up and up and up here. People watching from all around the world. So
Yeah.
I would just remind you, if you've not hit the like and subscribe button. And Ryan, for some reason, likes you to go on YouTube and hit the like and subscribe button, because we've got 2,600 followers, and he wants to get to 3,000. So if you fancy that, please hit the like and subscribe button, and you can be a VIP member if you want to be. So just send your little email in on that one to Ryan and find out how you can be a VIP member.
So also, people calling for Dyche. Obviously, like you said, I don't think he's going anywhere. If
Wasting your breath.
777 get ratified before the end of the season in 2052, then things might change then, because I can't see them putting up with the fans being cheesed off with the way Dyche is playing, and so narrow as well. I mean, you've got Dwight McNeil that could hug that touchline, you know what I mean, and he's getting sucked in, and it's just so narrow trying to not concede, and by trying not to concede, you're not trying to score either. You know what I mean?
Since the start of the season, though, isn't it? I mean, at the start of the season, the chances they were creating, and oh my! I mean, it was just like it was decent football. The chances, bang, we go, but we couldn't score. But that's kind of that level of dynamic. I'm trying to think of the best word to use. It just doesn't seem to be there. They've gone a little bit. They've gone a little bit stale, and I think that was possibly the reason why they were jetted off to Portugal. But they've come back. But that's I looked against Bournemouth and thought,
Much
oh
of the
my
same.
God, for me it hadn't worked. And if they're flat again tonight, then straight away you're going into the Burnley game on the back of 2 away games with poor performances.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have turned around and played 3 at the back tonight, 3 centre halves. I would have, Tarkovsky would have brought Michael Keane back into the fold, and I know that might be an unpopular choice. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not the biggest lover of Michael Keane by any stretch of the imagination, but then it gives you more attacking options out on the wings. It gives you your fullbacks and your wingers more freedom to get forward. And obviously with Newcastle having such a depleted squad, that would have been ideal. And it just seems to me with this team, it's just like once again it's set up to try and get a point. And you think like points at the minute are not good enough. Like he needs to win a game, and we need to see them win a game. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, well, that was last year, wasn't it? That was December, but our last 3
16th of
points.
December. 16th of December, 2-0 against Burnley. I mean, that's shocking. We're into April. You know what I mean?
What do you think of John's comment there? I mean, I've left it up there.
Yeah, like I said, John, like I think we're all coming round to the fact that we need a change in management. But like Robbie said, at this present moment, Dyche is going nowhere because there's nobody there. We haven't got the money to sack him. We haven't got, if you look at the finances the other day, £7 million was paid to Frank Lampard for when we got rid of him, and £2.5 million was paid to Denise Barrett-Baxendale for the inconvenience of being put in a headlock. You know what I mean? That never happened.
Shocking. I mean, do you know what? You see it in industry, don't you? You see it in certain places where people are promoted way above their performance levels, and you think, how the hell did you get there? That just it almost that 2.5 million you just mentioned then, it just makes me literally just gonna want to shut down the stream and walk away. It's so painful.
It's got to be the only profession in the world where if you're a failure, you get you get paid off millions of pounds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's got to be the only profession in the world where you get rewarded for being absolutely garbage at your job.
Because a lot of them are on the merry-go-round, aren't they? They go from job to job to job, and they're crap, but they still get that.
Where's she going to go? Denise Barrett-Baxendale?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I thought you meant. Well, do you know what? I've seen people in. I won't name companies because it's kind of, you have to be careful these days, don't you? But in companies where you go, I can't believe what you're doing and the decisions you're making, and the next minute they're a chief executive somewhere else when they've just made a literally £500 million mega mistake when it shouldn't have been made. I'm talking 500 million, by the way, not 500 quid. But
Yeah,
they go somewhere else. You just lost for words, and if you harp on about it, mate, you just literally just got to, you and I, bottom of the food chain, and we just do our business. We go out, and as my mum used to say, do something nice each day, and it'll make you feel good. And if you can help someone, then help them, whatever. These individuals are at the top of the food chain. They trample all over you.
I know.
So it's kind of, that's life, and it's never going to change, Wes. Never going to change.
I know. Well, Sniffer's made the comments here that she was entitled to the money, and do you really think she had any say with Mashiri and Ken Wright above her? Definitely with Ken Wright there, she wouldn't have had much of a say. I'll give you that. But Mashiri, I don't think he got involved in the day-to-day running of the club, to be honest, Sniffer. And I think that's kind of proving it now, is that he hasn't wanted to have anything to do with Everton for a long while. Once that stadium started going up, I think he sort of washed his hands of the whole thing then, you know what I mean? But I don't think she deserved £2.5 million for being a failure, mate. Nobody deserves that kind of money for being a failure. So,
and I think her wages, without being a failure, were 900,000 a year anyway.
Yeah,
and if you look how Everton have been run,
yeah, exactly. Because it's like Steve Bruce, like Peter Duggan mentioned Steve Bruce before at Newcastle. He's been given a big whopping payoff for nearly relegating you. Do you think he deserved that money? I'd say no, mate. I don't think anybody deserves to be given a shitload of money for being a failure at the job. And this is the thing with managers, is that, you go into a club with the best intentions, but if it doesn't work out, you walk away with a payout. You know what I mean? So and then they'll get another job somewhere else. You know what I mean? Because you can guarantee if Sean Dyche gets sacked, if 777 come in and they decide they've had enough of Dyche ball like the rest of us, they'll sack him and he'll end up at another club that's probably down the bottom of the league. Do you know what I mean? If they get sacked next season and you get somebody like, I don't know, an Ipswich coming up or whatever, and they're not doing very well in the league, guarantee he'll be floating around there for that job if their manager gets sacked.
I don't think the headlock situation helped her or other individuals on a personal level, because what should have happened there was the supposed victim should have at least come out and said, listen, this is what happened, bang, bang, bang. And then, do you know what? You'd have had a lot more kudos. And for me, there would have been, yeah, all right, I'll have that. I'll accept that. Mistakes have been made, whatever. But it was all hush, hush. I'll look after you. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And did it happen? Did it happen, Wes?
No. Did it shite. Did it shite.
But, mate, why was that used as an excuse? Because from then on, that was it. It was just we were off the cliff without a parachute. That was it. It was a free for all, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, friends, what do you think about scores tonight? Because that's enough about DBB.
I just want to. I don't know whether if anybody's aware of this situation that's arising. That there's a rumor going round.
Come on, Wes.
There's a rumor going round that
this is an exclusive, by the way. Exclusive on Follow Everton.
It's not exclusive. It's out there amongst the general public. But apparently, if Mashiri or 777 don't pay back this 158 million, to MSP Sports Capital, then MSP Sports by the middle of April, then MSP Sports Capital have a chance to take a controlling share in Everton.
Okay, so is that a good thing or a bad thing, Wes?
Well, that'd blow 777 out the water straight away.
But then could MSP pay 777 off and come in by default as our new owners?
No, because that's the situation that's arose, is that they've obviously lent Everton the money to build the stadium and whatnot. But there's must be a clause in it there somewhere that says, you know, if it's because they've been sort of given the right, 777 and being given the right to do the takeover by, you know, they're minded to permit 777 to take over Everton. Because they're being given that, then I think that then entitles MSP Sports Capital to try and claim the money back, and if they haven't, they can use their money as equity to take over the club.
All interesting stuff. I'm sure we're going to be doing a stream on that in the very, very near future. Mate, I was talking to our postie today. Obviously, Chris, fanatical Everton fan. He'd do well on here, but he goes to games. He's got a season ticket. So we always have a laugh and we tell one of the stories from years gone by, whatever. I said, how are you? You know, like you're saying to someone, how are you? Like you've just come out of hospital because he's got an Everton season ticket. And he went, Robby, absolutely,
how you feeling?
Absolutely desperate. He said, it's just, he said, I just walk around with me earbuds in. He said, I even take the earbuds now to the match and just listen to me music. He said, because it's just woeful.
Yeah,
it's quite sad, that, isn't it, mate?
It is, mate, and that's, you know, he's one of thousands and thousands of Evertonians feeling exactly the same.
You've got to feel for the boys and girls going them games and at Newcastle tonight, because they're going to be going there with hope, aren't they? Stuck. Yeah. Have you seen where you're at in Newcastle? Used to be like low down behind the goal. Now it's like
top corner.
It's top corner. I mean, you need binoculars. If Everton are playing at the other end, you wouldn't even, God forbid, if Everton did score, I mean, you know, on the rare occasion, you don't even know who it is. You'd need binoculars. So you're waiting for the announcers to say, he's just scored. That's how bad it is there.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, you know, when we eventually get the stadium down in Bramley Moor built, I'd imagine our away section is not going to be brilliant either. You know what I mean? So it's tit for tat, isn't it?
It won't be as bad as Newcastle's, though.
No, I get that. Like this, the stands are, you know, they're quite steep and quite high, aren't they? So, but you're only paying 30 quid, so. But it's the going there. It's taking time out your day, doing the trip up there, and then that shower of shite ends up letting you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Peter, if it's a corner, mate, trust me on this one. I've been there so many times. If it's a corner and one of your team scores the goal from the stands, you just don't know who scored the goal. You're just cheering and you're going, who got that? Who got that? Who scored that? Because you can't see it.
So we was just talking behind the scenes there. I don't know if anybody was listening to the radio today, but they had Kieran Maguire on there over this new breach, saying it's a possibility that Everton won't get any points deducted because they might get 3 points, but with the precedent that they've set of giving points back for cooperating, they'll therefore get 2 points back and a point back for mitigation, which kind of begs the question: is what was the point in it in the first place? if we get no points, which I hope we do, and I'm sure everybody else does, but you kind of think, what was the point in the first place? Because they've like up until like this week, when we found out how much losses we've had, like when they initially done the books, the Premier League and the Commissioner have known all that weeks and weeks and weeks ago before it even come out in the press. You know what I mean? So why didn't they just say, like, from the off, you know, there's not, you haven't got a case to answer, you've cooperated and this, that, and the other.
It's procedure, my friend. It's procedure. That's what it's all about. Life in this world, it's not like many years ago, mate, when it was all boxed off and it was like, you used the word common sense. Now it's a tick boxing exercise, and particularly with the government looking to regulate, they've got to be seen to keep their own house in order. But I still maintain, Wes, 0 points is coming our way.
I'm open, you're right, the Rob's and yeah. I've got my fingers crossed, because one thing we can't do with at the minute is another points deduction, because you know, we're in free fall as it is now, and we get another points deduction. I think that'll be the nail in the coffin. I mean, so that's I mean, Sniffer's right there. That, like, our wages in the turnover is that high, 92.7%. It only came down by 2% this like 22, 23. It comes down by, and getting people like Damari Gray and that all off, you know, all them players off the wages, off the books, and it only comes down by 2%. So that tells you how much we're paying out in wages to the likes of Tarkowski, Calvert-Lewin. Somebody mentioned the other week, he's on 100 grand a week. You know, he should be paying Everton to play the way he's playing at the minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shouldn't he be taking a wage?
You kind of, when the performances are the way they are at the moment, and the predicament, and the third year running, fighting relegation, that's when you kind of have a bit of an issue about these millionaire prima donnas that maybe turn up, but they don't turn up.
Well,
I've got an issue with that.
Since the 16th of December, they haven't bothered turning up.
And you know what, tonight, mate, again, you know, the fans have gone up there. Everyone's watching. The whole, you know, the Blues around the world, they're all watching, living in hope again, going, tonight's tonight. Because, I mean, we're Blues no matter what, aren't we? You know, whatever's coming our way, we're Blues. We do the stream because we love our team. The fans have gone tonight because they're diehards. You know, they mightn't have the money tonight. They might have to borrow it to go tonight. And they're going, living in hope that we're going to come away with something.
Yeah. Where he's got a point there is that what's mental about all that with the wages and all that is the players that we have for the money. Do you know what I mean? And that's a sad fact, isn't it? That you've got, like, take Tarkowski out of the equation, right? Because I think he's been superb since he's come in on a free transfer. Take him out of the equation, but you've got all these others that are on big money, and they're not performing. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Like, if you was in your old job, Rob, and you wasn't performing your old job, you'd get carted, wouldn't you?
Any job you'd get away, you might have a poor performance after a week. I was thinking about this today when I was cooking tea, and I went, okay, so someone would probably go, all right, yeah, no problem, sort it out, yeah. And then after 2 weeks to go, listen, things are still happening here. What's going on? After 3 weeks, everyone's on your case, and after 3 or 4 weeks, you're getting the first written warning. And but if you carried on like the Everton team, you'd literally be out on your ass, and it'd be like, you'd be on the UB40.
Yeah.
But that's the contract, mate, isn't it? They've got a contract. They get paid. They get paid, no, whether they turn up or whether they don't. In the old days, it was the win bonus. Because if you ever speak to the old players, they'd get a signing on fee. Because many years ago, David Johnson, who played for both clubs, I used to have a pint with him in Shenanigans. What a lovely fella. And he told me all about how it worked and whatever. Yeah. And that win bonus, they played for that win bonus because although they were doing well and better than the bricklayers and anyone else in Civvy Street, that win bonus, that bought them all their extra luxuries.
Yeah. Well, do you know what I was watching the other week, Rob? And I honestly can't believe that. Like how much money these footballers earn, right? Is that if a player moves from another club, right? He gets a relocation money off the PFA or whatever it is, and it's £5,000, right? Now, say for instance, Dwight McNeil moved from Everton to Liverpool, he'd still get that £5,000 even though he wasn't moving house. Still get it. Do you know what I mean? I don't get me wrong. If you was moving from one end of the country to the other and all that, you'd be like you'd understand it. But if you was actually staying in the same place, like say Tarkowski when he left Burnley to come to Everton, he hasn't moved to Liverpool. He stays exactly where he is, and he's getting £5,000 for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Score-wise tonight, mate?
Predictions, mate.
What's your scores? What do you think, fellow Blues and Newcastle fans there? What do you think the score will be tonight? Oh, my God.
I'm going.
What I want it to be.
Optimistically. Yeah. Optimistically.
Hopefully.
I'm going for it. I've gone for 1-1 on the Super 6, so I'm going to stick with that.
1-1.
Yeah. Our kid's saying Newcastle 3-1. He's a cop-height, though.
Is that he's wishing that, or that's what he thinks? Because there's a difference, isn't it? It's kind of like he's hoping we get smashed 3-1.
No, he actually turned around and said earlier on that good luck tonight, but then he's saying around and said we get beat 3-1. He's not the brightest tool in the box, you know what I mean? But fair play to him. He's come on. Yeah. Cop bite. He hasn't given us any shit, so he can stay on. I won't block him.
Mate, that ship sailed like 2 years ago. They all feel sorry for us now.
I know.
It's literally, I mean, I'm not going to be in the country on when we play in the derby, and it's like, do you know what? I probably won't subject myself. I'll take the wife for a meal, and I won't even watch it. Because
I get it all the time. Obviously, being on the taxis, people will get in and they'll go to me, "Oh, you sport." I've got a pair of Everton football boots hanging up over the rear view mirror, and so who do you support? And I go, "Oh, I'm an Evertonian," and the next word out of the mouth will be,
bless you.
And I go, okay? Don't be saying it like that. Don't be saying it like that. Feeling sorry for me.
Oh, sad.
But here's an option, Robbie, right? If some people have mentioned this, right? Maybe out of jest or whatever, right? But say it's 0-0 with 10 minutes to go, right?
Yeah.
And obviously fucking Dyche with his long ball, right? Do you put Michael Keane on the front?
What, to try and get 3 points?
Because what I've been led to believe is he started his career off as a striker, you know.
Oh, okay.
And obviously he's got a goal in him. He's got a shot on him. You know what I mean?
Sorry, so, I thought you meant Dyche started his career off then. That's why I was going, oh really? No, yeah, Michael Keane. Yeah.
So no. Would you throw him on with 10 minutes to go if it's 0-0 and think, go and get us a goal? Obviously, he adds the extra height as well.
I think in the current situation, which is getting worse and worse and worse, he'd play for the point, and if we got beat 1-0, he'd go, well, that's just life. It was hard luck. We should have had a penalty or whatever. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's got that focus where, tactically wise, he can see where other weaknesses are. I mean, I can only analyse what I visually see and hear. Tactical wise, and Chris Leitch, he can analyse like with a microscope other things that we don't see. But as a coach, we were all backing him, won't we, through thick and thin, because we had all the things going on off the pitch, and we were saying, you know what, anyone else probably would have left us because of all the hassle that he's got, but he's stuck with us through thick and thin. But he's kind of not doing himself any favours with the substitute side of things, and he's probably not the only one, but he's as stubborn as when he thinks, hang on, maybe that's not working, or has he not got his backroom team who's strong enough to say to him, hey, Sean, I think that's a bit crap. That we need to maybe do something else, because it's clearly not working.
No,
it's not
they
working.
Say when after we come back from the 3 weeks off, and you think, going into the Bournemouth game, you thought, they'll be reinvigorated, and they'll have a bit of something about them, and it was
we were hoping.
Yeah, it was just more of the same.
We were both hoping they were going to come back, and it was just literally going to go bang, have a bit of that Bournemouth. Yeah, and who's next? No, it's woeful, mate. I'm going to stick my neck out for a 1-0 away win tonight.
Away win, 1-0.
I'm going for Beto. I'm think Beto tonight will literally tear them apart.
Yeah, you hope so.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So Peter Duggan says that the long ball with Michael Keane up there won't work because of Dan Burn. But you've also got Onana, who is probably maybe as tall as Dan Burn.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And you could stick him on occupied Dan Burn. And so there's ways and means around it. I get what you're saying, though. Dan Burn's a big, tall, and gangly. I hate him, I'll be honest with you. I can't stand Dan Burn. He is overrated. Like, he's played in every position that Newcastle have got in the back four, hasn't he? Yeah. He's played left centre back, right centre back, right back, left back. I mean, you can call him a utility player, don't get me wrong, but.
So, friends, me and you are on post-match. Oh, yeah.
Hiya, love.
It's Ryan.
It's the boss. It's the boss with his new laptop.
Got a computer.
Lovely to see you.
I'm not using the camera and mic. I'm just using the inbuilt one on the computer for now. But I can actually sit.
Sounds all right, though.
I can actually sit and use a proper computer now, so it should come through okay.
Great.
And then I'll add the headset and the camera in due course. But I've got the basics, which is what we didn't have.
Lovely.
Your sound sounds all right.
Give me the team news. Should do for 1,500 quid, lad.
Fucking got too much money, you right?
No. Team news: Pickford, Godfrey. Ready? Pickford, Godfrey, Tarkovsky, Branthwaite, Michaelenko.
Okay.
Garner Gay.
Hang on, whoa! Why is Godfrey at right back?
He's got Patterson and Coleman sitting on the bench.
Are we playing?
That's obvious, isn't it?
If you're playing Godfrey, I want to see a high line. What is the point of having him there? Unless we're having a high line and utilising his pace, he's offering nothing going forward, and we're not pushing up and pressing on. I don't get it. Right, give me the midfield.
Garner Gay.
Ashley Young.
Fuck off. Don't take the piss.
Ashley Young on the right.
Is it actually?
Yeah. And I'd assume that is to combat Harvey Barnes.
He's like a granddad. I honestly think Robby would do better.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with granddads.
No, Robby was always last pick.
Yeah, I read that. but Young got booked. He got booked within 5 minutes.
Patterson's got concussion.
What's the rest of the team? So Young's on the wing. Are we trying not to score?
So Young, McNeil,
we don't need to
Onana, Dakota. We've only got a couple of minutes here for I don't need to go and watch it. Young, Onana, McNeil, Dakota, and Beto up front. Gomez, Coleman, DCL, Harrison on the bench.
Yeah.
Gomez. I'd have started a proper right back if you've got that many defensive midfielders and defensive wingers in there.
I'd have definitely started Gomez. The only one you can see a pass. But it looks like James Garner wasn't even on the bench, was he?
Didn't see his name.
Because, I mean, to be perfectly honest, he hasn't offered nothing for weeks and weeks anyway, personally.
So, Ryan, we're going to be doing post-match as well, so I need to go and get myself all sorted.
Thank you.
Nobody else has put the names down for it.
So, post-match will be it. Early doors.
I've got a lot more flexibility now because I've got a proper computer where it's funny on your phone because you're doing it at the phone on the couch, you're holding it up. It's not practical. Now I can be at my studio when I get my room sorted in a couple of weeks.
Studio.
Or I can jump on the computer on the sofa with the headset and talk and do the streams. So you won't feel on your own.
Right. So listen, Blues. The Robster's gone for a 1-0 away win with a Beto strike this evening. Beto's going to run them ragged. Our friend Wez has gone for a 1-1 draw.
Ryan, I'm eating.
Ryan, are you going for a prediction, my friend? Are you going for a prediction before I end the stream, Ryan?
What's the score?
2-1.
2-1 for Jazz. 2-1 to Everton for Jazz. And what about you, Ryan?
I think one of two things are going to happen today. Okay? Everton are either going to get a really good reaction because they're not going to want the potential unwanted record of going on the longest ever winless run in Everton's 147-year history.
I don't think we care about that.
You get a reaction.
We were boys.
You'll get a massive reaction, or we will lose very convincingly. It'll be very flat. It'll be a 3-4-0 on a whimper. We won't lay a glove on them. And
show Robbie what I bought today.
That for the car?
Yeah.
Nice one.
And it will be. And if that happens, which is what I think will happen, Sean Dyche will get sacked. He's got to go if we lose this convincingly today.
Well, you heard it all on Follow Everton. Oh, so come on, up the Blues, up the Toffees. We will see you 10 or 15 minutes after the final whistle this evening. Good evening, and we're just hoping that we get those 3 points. Love you all. Bye-bye. See you, Ryan. See you, Jazz. See you, Wes.
Bye.
Up the Blues.